It is IGCSE Physics Paper Code 0625, Paper 1 Variant 2, February March 2020, and today we are going to solve question number 1 to question number 20. Question 1. The diagram shows a rectangular metal sheet close to two rulers. Here we have a metal sheet and here we have two rulers. What is the area of the metal sheet? What is area? Area is given as length into breadth. Now here if you check the length of this metal sheet, you will get this one 35 centimeter, and for the breadth you will get this one 20 centimeter. So area will be equal to 35 multiplied by 20. It will be equal to 700 centimeter square. 700 centimeter square is given in option A. So here correct option is option A. Question number 2. The graph shows how the speed of a car changes with time over part of a journey. Which section of the graph shows acceleration and which section of the graph shows deceleration? Here we have plotted a graph in between time and speed. When we plot a graph in between time and speed, the gradient represents acceleration. Now here this gradient is increasing, so here we have positive acceleration. Here in 2 we are looking that the gradient is in parallel with the x-axis, so here gradient is 0. Since gradient is 0 here, so here acceleration is also 0. In 3 we are looking that gradient is decreasing. Since here gradient is decreasing, so here we have negative acceleration, or we can say it is retardation or deceleration. Now in 4 again this gradient is parallel to x-axis, so here acceleration is 0. So in 1 there is acceleration, in 2 acceleration is 0, in 3 there is deceleration, in 4 there is no acceleration, acceleration is 0. Now we check the options. In option B, the same thing is given, number 1 for acceleration and number 3 for deceleration. Number 1 for acceleration, number 3 for deceleration. So here our correct option, option B. Question number 3. A steel ball is dropped from the top floor of a building. Air resistance can be ignored. Which statement describes the motion of the ball? Here it is given the ball is dropped from the top floor of a building. When the ball is dropped, there is a force acting on the ball, and this force is gravitational pull or gravitational force. And because of the gravitational force, there is an acceleration that is called acceleration due to gravity. And the value of acceleration due to gravity is constant, and its value is considered 10 meter per second square. Now we check the options. Which statement describes the motion of the ball? Option A, the ball falls with constant acceleration. So this option is correct option. The ball falls with a constant acceleration and the value of this acceleration is 10 meter per second square. So correct option, option A. Question number 4. Diagram 1 shows a piece of flexible material that contains many pockets of air. Diagram 2 shows the same piece of flexible material after it has been compressed so that its volume decreases. What happens to the mass and to the weight of the flexible material when it is compressed? Mass always remains constant. So here mass in diagram 1 and diagram 2 will be same. What about the weight? Weight is given as product of mass and acceleration due to gravity. Now mass is constant here and acceleration due to gravity, or also we can say gravitational field strength, will also be constant because the experiment is carried out in the same gravitational field. So here we can say weight is equal to m into g. M is constant, g is constant. So again weight will also be constant. So here in this case mass in diagram 1 and diagram 2 is constant, and also the weight in diagram 1 and diagram 2 will be constant. So here mass and weight both are constant. Now same thing is given in the option D, that mass no change, weight no change, means both the values are constant. So here correct option, option D. Question number 5. On the moon, the gravitational field strength G is 1.6 Newton per kg. An object has a mass of 2 kg. What is the weight of the object on the moon? Weight is given as m into g, where m is for mass, g is for gravitational field strength. Here mass is given 2 kg, gravitational field strength is given 1.6. So we have to multiply 2 by 1.6 and we will get the answer 3.2 Newton. 3.2 Newton is given in option C. So here correct option, option C. Question number 6. A measuring cylinder contains 40 centimeter cube of water. A solid metal ball is dropped into the water and the water level rises to 56 centimeter cube. The mass of the ball is 80 gram. What is the density of the metal from which the ball is made? Here we have to find out the density. Density is given as mass over volume. Mass is given here 80 gram. What about the volume? Here volume of water is 40 centimeter cube and here volume of the ball and water is given 56 centimeter cube. So volume of the ball will be the difference of these two volumes. Volume of the ball will be equal to 56 minus 40, means 16 centimeter cube. So volume of the ball is 16 centimeter cube and mass is given 80. So 80 over 16, it will be equal to 5 gram per centimeter cube. 5 gram per centimeter cube is given in option D. So correct option, option D. Question number 7. A car travels along a horizontal road at constant speed. Three horizontal forces act on the car. The diagram shows two of these forces. What is the size and the direction of the third horizontal force acting on the car? Here two forces are shown. One force from engine, it is 1500 Newton. It is in the forward direction. Second force is 300 Newton. That is air resistance. It is 300 Newton. And we have a third force. We have to find out the magnitude and direction of this third force. Here it is given the car is traveling at a constant speed. Constant speed means acceleration is zero. Since acceleration is zero, so here we can say resultant force is equal to zero. And resultant force is equal to zero means right hand side force should be equal to left hand side force. Now right hand side force is 1500 Newton, or we can say in the forward direction force is 1500 Newton. In the reverse direction or in the backward direction, there is a force of 300 Newton. Now to balance the force, the resultant to be zero, in the backward direction, there should be a force of 1200 Newton. So that 1200 Newton plus 300 Newton will be equal to 1500 Newton. So here we have a third force that is in the direction of backward direction and the magnitude of the force is 1200 Newton. Now we check the option. In option A, it is given 1200 Newton backwards. So it is our correct option. In the backward direction, we have a force of 1200 Newton. 1200 plus 300, it is equal to 1500. This 1500 backward force is equal to forward force, that is equal to 1500. So both the forces will cancel out each other and the resultant force will be equal to 0. And because of the resultant force is equal to 0, the acceleration is 0 and the car is moving with a constant speed. So here correct option is option A, 1200 Newton backwards. Question number 8. A force F is applied to a spanner as shown, Which action increases the moment of F about the center of the nut? Moment is given as product of force and moment arm. Greater the moment arm, greater will be moment. Greater is the force, greater will be the moment. Now we check the option. Option A, apply the force F to the end of the spanner handle. Now if we have to increase the moment, either we have to increase the force or we have to increase the moment arm. When we move this force to the end of the spanner, means we are increasing the moment arm, and by the increasing of moment arm, the moment will be increased. So here correct option is option A. Question number 9. A ball is released from rest and rolls down a track from the position shown. What is the furthest position that it is possible for the ball to reach? Here the ball is dropped. When the ball is dropped, the ball is coming towards the point A. Its gravitational potential energy is converting to kinetic energy. When the ball moves up, its kinetic energy will be converted to gravitational potential energy. In Newtonian physics, we have studied that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be converted to one form to another. So here gravitational potential energy is converted to kinetic energy, and here kinetic energy will be converted to gravitational potential energy. Whatever be the gravitational potential energy converted here to kinetic energy, the same amount of energy will be converted from kinetic energy to gravitational potential energy. Now gravitational potential energy is given as mgh, means gravitational potential energy depends on height. So whatever be the height decrease here, the same height will be increased here. Now we are looking that this point and point B are at same level. So here when the ball will come at point A, and again when the ball will move upward, it will reach up to the point B, because here whatever be the height is decreased, the same height will be increased. So here correct option, option B. Question number 10. Which row describes an advantage and a disadvantage of wind turbines? In the column of advantage, first option A, no fuel needed. Yes, it is okay. It is correct. No fuel is needed. So this is an advantage. Option B, variable supply. Yes, we get variable supply, but it is not an advantage. It is a disadvantage. So option B is incorrect. Option C, no harmful gases released. Yes, it is correct option. In wind turbines, it is our advantage that there is no harmful gases is released. Okay, we check option D, constant supply. In wind turbine, we do not get constant supply, we get variable supply because the supply depends on the wind. There is more wind, more power we will get. There is less wind, less power we will get. So we will not get the constant supply. So this option is also not possible. So possible options are A and C only. Now in the column of disadvantage, we will check only A and C. In A, in the column of disadvantage, it is given harmful gases released. No, there is not the harmful gases in wind turbine. So this point is incorrect. In option C, it is given variable supply. Yes, in wind turbine, we get variable supply, and this is our disadvantage. So what is the advantage? Advantage is no harmful gases released. And what is disadvantage? Variable supply. So here correct option, option C. Question number 11. A box of mass M and weight W is carried up some stairs of total height X and total width Y. On which quantity does the work done against gravity on the box depend? Work done against gravity is given as gravitational potential energy, and the formula of gravitational potential energy is mgh. where M is for mass, G is for gravitational field strength, and H is for height. Now M into G, mass into gravitational field strength, is called weight. Now we can say that gravitational potential energy is equal to weight into height. Now weight is given here W and height is represented by alphabet X. So we can say here gravitational potential energy will be equal to W into X. So here on which quantity gravitational potential energy depends? Gravitational potential energy depends on weight and height. Weight is given here as W and height is given as X. So here we can say W and X. W and X is given in option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 12. Diagram 1 shows a tube sealed at one end and partly immersed in mercury. The tube has a diameter d. The top of mercury in the tube is a height h above the mercury reservoir. Here in this tube we have mercury. It is diagram 1. Diagram 2 shows a similar arrangement with a tube that has a diameter 2d. Here we have diameter 2d. Okay, this arrangement we use to find out the atmospheric pressure. Okay, what is the relationship between H and X? Here this height is H, this height is X. This height H or X is independent of the diameter. Since this H or X is independent of diameter, so here we increase the diameter or we decrease the diameter, this height will remain same. This height will remain constant. So here we can say this height H as shown in the diagram 1 will be equal to height X as shown in the diagram 2. So H is equal to X and X is equal to H is given in option B. So here correct option. Question number 13. A skier is standing still on a flat area of snow. The weight of the skier is 550 Newton. The total area of his skis in contact with the ground is 0.015 meters square. What is the pressure exerted on the ground by the skier? Okay, the pressure exerted is given as force over area. Now force or the weight of the object is 550 Newton. So force is equal to 550 and the area is given 0.015 meters square. So pressure will be equal to F over A means 50 over 0.015 and by solving this one we will get the answer 37,000 Newton per meter square. Now 37,000 Newton per meter square is given in option D. So correct option, option D. Question number 14. The molecules of a substance in a particular state of matter moves freely with random motion. Molecules move freely with random motion. It is property of a gas. Means here we are talking about a gas. The average speed of the molecule is increasing. What is being described? Here it is given the average speed of the molecule is increasing. Average speed is increasing means kinetic energy of the molecule is increasing and kinetic energy of the molecule means temperature is increasing and temperature is increasing means the gas is being heated. That is given in the option A. So here it is our correct option, a gas being heated, because when a gas is being heated the temperature of the gas is increased and with the increase in temperature kinetic energy of the molecule is increased and with the increase in kinetic energy average speed of the gaseous molecule is increased. So here correct option, option A. Question number 15. A student measured the mass of warm water in an open container over 2 minutes. The container is kept at constant temperature. The results are in the table. Here we have time taken and here it is the mass of water that is gradually decreasing. Why does the mass of the water change? Okay, now we check the options. Option A, the water evaporates. Yes, it is the correct option. Here we are looking that the mass of the water is gradually decreasing, means here the molecules are escaping from the liquid, and escaping of the molecules from the surface of the liquid means evaporation. So here correct option is option A, the water evaporates. Okay, what is given in the other options? Option B, the water freezes. If the water is freezing, then the total mass will not be changed. The mass will remain constant. Mass will remain same. Since here mass is decreasing, so here the water is not freezing. It is evaporating. Option C, the water condenses. Condensation means conversion of gas in a liquid form. Option D, the water boils. Boiling takes place at a constant temperature and at a constant rate. Here we are looking, the rate is not constant. So here it is not boiling, it is evaporation. So here correct option is option A. Question number 16. Which points are the fixed points of the liquid in glass thermometer shown? In liquid in glass thermometer, for the calibration, we take two fixed points. One fixed point is taken freezing point of water and second fixed point is taken boiling point of water. Now freezing point of water is considered 0 degree centigrade and boiling point of water is considered 100 degrees centigrade. So here two points are taken, that is given in the option C. The points marked 0 degree centigrade and 100 degree centigrade. These points are considered as a reference point for the calibration of a liquid in glass thermometer. So here correct option is option C. Question number 17. Four different metal blocks are given the same quantity of thermal energy. Which block has the greatest thermal capacity? Okay, what is meant by thermal capacity? Thermal capacity is the amount of heat supplied to a given mass of a material to produce a unit change in its temperature. Now here it is given the same quantity of thermal energy is provided in all the four cases. Let us suppose we consider, for example, here we have supplied 10 joules of energy. So here in option B also 10 joule, in C also 10 joule, in D also 10 joules of energy. Now here by the supply of 10 joule of energy, here rise in temperature is 1 degree centigrade, and here in the option D with the supply of 10 joule of energy, the rise in temperature is 4 degree centigrade. So here we can say for 1 degree rise in temperature, the amount of heat is 2.5 joules. So here in option A, we are looking for 1 degree centigrade, we are providing 10 joule of energy. In option D, we are providing 2.5 joules of energy for rise in temperature of 1 degree centigrade. So here in option A, thermal capacity is more as compared to D. Now, if we consider B and C, we will also find that in option A, the thermal capacity is maximum. So here our correct option is option A. Question number 18. A solid is heated from room temperature. The graph shows how its temperature changes with time as it is heated constantly. At which time has it just become completely liquid? Here we have a solid. When the temperature is raised, at this point it started converting to liquid state. Now it is converting to liquid, and at this point it is completely converted to liquid. Now here the temperature will again start to rise. From point A to C, temperature remains constant, and during this, the solid is converting to liquid. Whatever be the heat, whatever be the amount of energy we are providing is utilized to convert it from solid to liquid. Okay, at this point A, it started to convert in liquid, and at point C it is completely converted to liquid state. It is asked at which time has it just become completely liquid. So at point C it will just become completely liquid. So our correct option is option C. Question number 19. Rods of the same shape and size are inserted through cogs into a tank of hot water. Each rod is covered with a layer of solid wax that has a low melting point. After a period of time, some wax melts. On which rod will the wax melt first? Now the wax will melt first where the rod is best conductor of heat. Now here it is given moderate thermal conductor, here it is given bad thermal conductor, here it is given good thermal conductor. So in good thermal conductor, heat will be transferred easily and this heat will be absorbed by the wax and the wax will melt. So in a good thermal conductor, the wax will melt first. Now we check the option. In option B, the same thing is given, good thermal conductor. So here our correct option is option B. Question number 20. A boy jumps into an indoor swimming pool. He notices that the water appears to get colder as he goes deeper underwater. This is due to convection. What is convection? Convection is a mode of heat transfer in liquid and in gases. Which statement is correct? Option A, cold water is more dense than warm water, so it sinks to the bottom of the pool. Yes, it is the correct option. Cold water is more dense, that's why it is in the bottom, and warm water is less dense, that's why it is over the cold water. So this option is correct option. Okay, what is given in the other options? Warm water is more dense. No, warm water is less dense because in warm water the volume is more and with the increase in volume density decreases. So here option B is incorrect. Option C, the molecules in cold water have more kinetic energy. No, in hot water, in warm water, there will be more kinetic energy. So this option is also incorrect. Option D, the molecules in warm water are closer together than the molecules in the cold water. No, in warm water the molecules are away from each other because in warm water the molecules have more kinetic energy as compared to cold water. So option D is also incorrect. Here our correct option is option A. Cold water is more dense than warm water, so it sinks to the bottom of the pool. Now we have completed up to question number 20. From 21 to 40 we will solve in the next session. Thank you very much.